Dimensions Collide. Part 1, The Awakening. Chapter 8, Betrayal and Redemption. A low hum resonated through the sterile white chamber, a stark contrast to the vibrant jungle scene displayed on the holographic walls. Hermes, cloaked in the shimmering blue energy field of an active holodeck, adjusted the frequency dial on his wrist console. This lower frequency transmission was a gamble, a desperate attempt to reach a reality so dense, its inhabitants might not even possess the technology to receive interstellar messages. Days had bled into weeks since their arrival in this uncharted region of the multiverse. Alex and Neo remained in a state of suspended animation, their bodies cocooned in the specialized medical pods while Hermes tirelessly scoured the dimensional tapestry for any sign of the Xylan collective or a suitable reality to offer refuge. The faint crackle of static that filled the chamber sent a jolt of adrenaline through him. He adjusted the frequency further, the static coalescing into a distorted voice. It spoke in a language that defied translation, a guttural symphony of clicks and whistles. But the underlying emotion, the desperate plea for help, resonated with Hermes. He reached for the universal translator embedded within his suit, hoping it could bridge the vast gap between their vastly different languages. As the device whirred to life, the voice transformed, the alien clicks and whistles morphing into a series of ragged breaths. "Help us," the voice rasped, heavy with despair. Hermes' heart pounded in his chest. This was a sign, a desperate plea from a reality on the brink. He activated the speaker system, his voice amplified across the chamber. "I hear you," he declared, his words translated into a series of soothing tones by the universal translator. "Who are you? What's happening?" The voice, now less frantic, explained their plight. They were a race known as the Xar'Ki, an advanced subterranean civilization dwelling on a planet locked in perpetual twilight. Their sun, a dying red giant, was spewing harmful radiation, threatening their very existence. But that wasn't the worst of it. A ruthless race known as the Xylan, masters of technology and manipulation, had approached them with a solution. They proposed a Dyson sphere, a massive technological structure built around their sun, capable of blocking out the harmful radiation and restoring their world to a habitable state. However, the Xar'Ki soon discovered the Xylan's true motives. The Dyson sphere, instead of a shield, was a prison. It would plunge their planet into eternal darkness, allowing the Xylan to harvest their energy and enslave them. "They are building it now," the voice croaked, the sound heavy with desperation. "We are trapped. We cannot fight back." A cold anger coursed through Hermes. The Xylan's tactics mirrored those employed by the Borg collective far too closely. He knew the insidious nature of such technological slavery. "We will help you," he declared, his resolve hardening. "But first, I need to understand your technology, your defenses." He spent the next several hours in a flurry of activity. Using the universal translator as a bridge, he gleaned crucial information about Xar'Ki technology and the Xylan's construction process. This reality, despite its primitive communication methods, possessed advanced subterranean cities powered by geothermal energy. Knowledge that could prove invaluable in their own fight against the Borg. A chilling realization struck him as he analyzed the Xylan's Dyson Sphere project. The holographic technology employed in the Aegis Order's training holodeck bore an unsettling resemblance. Could this be a crude adaptation of a more advanced interstellar technology? Was there a connection, a thread that tied the Xylan's machinations to the Borg threat they had fled? The answer, unfortunately, would have to wait. He had a more immediate problem at hand, saving the Xar'Ki and dismantling the Xylan's insidious plan. With a battle plan formulated, Hermes emerged from the holodeck. His face, etched with newfound determination, turned towards the medical pods where Alex and Neo slumbered. "It's time to wake them," he declared, his voice echoing in the silent chamber. As the pods hissed open, revealing the groggy but recovering forms of his companions, a sense of urgency permeated the room. Hermes relayed the desperate message from the Xar'Ki, his voice painting a picture of a world on the brink of enslavement. "The Xylan," Alex muttered, their voice laced with a hint of disbelief. "They're everywhere, aren't they?" "We can't ignore this," Neo declared, his eyes blazing with determination. "They built a Dyson sphere out of holodeck technology? Sounds far-fetched." "It is, Hermes admitted. "But it points towards a larger connection. We need to investigate further." Their plan was audacious. They would infiltrate the Xylan construction site, assess the Dyson sphere's progress, and if possible, find a way to sabotage it from within. It was a risky mission, one that hinged on their ability to blend in with the Xylan workforce. "We'll need disguises," Neo said, his eyes scanning their meager supplies. "Maybe some of the salvaged tech from the crashed ship?" Hermes nodded, a flicker of hope sparking in his eyes. Using salvaged components and their knowledge of advanced technology, they spent the next few hours constructing makeshift holographic projectors. These devices would project pre-programmed Xylan worker appearances over their own bodies, allowing them to infiltrate the construction site undetected. The journey to the Xar'Ki homeworld was fraught with danger. Hermes piloted the stolen Xylan ship, navigating treacherous asteroid fields and avoiding Xylan patrol vessels. Finally, they emerged from hyperspace, the sight before them chilling to the bone. Their sun, a bloated red giant, glowed ominously in the distance. A colossal network of energy beams, originating from a vast orbiting platform, stretched towards the sun's surface. This was the embryonic Dyson sphere, a technological monstrosity that threatened to plunge an entire world into eternal darkness. Landing a safe distance away from the construction site, they activated their holographic disguises. The familiar forms of Xylan workers materialized around them, complete with the harsh blue uniforms and utilitarian helmets. Infiltrating the site was a breeze. Their disguises held true, and the Xylan workers, a gruff and discontented bunch, barely gave them a second glance. They weaved through the bustling worksite, marveling at the sheer scale of the operation. Massive drones manipulated gigantic panels of reflective material, slowly constructing the intricate latticework of the Dyson sphere. As they ventured deeper into the site, the grim reality of the Xylan's plan became clear. The holographic material they utilized wasn't just a shield. It was laced with subtle energy-draining properties. The Dyson sphere wasn't just blocking the harmful radiation, it was siphoning the planet's energy for the Xylan's nefarious purposes. "This is worse than we thought," Alex whispered, their voice echoing through their comm system. "They're not just trapping them, they're leeching the life out of their planet." Suddenly, a booming voice crackled over the site's intercom system. It was a Xylan overseer, his voice thick with condescension. "Listen up, workers. The sooner this glorious sphere is complete, the sooner you can all return to your insignificant lives. Now get back to work." Neo clenched his fists, anger coursing through him. He could feel the despair emanating from the Xar'Ki civilization below, a silent plea for help. "We need a way to disable the energy-draining properties," Hermes said, his voice tense. "If we can disrupt that, the Dyson sphere becomes useless to the Xylan." Their search led them to the central control hub, a heavily guarded complex brimming with advanced Xylan technology. Here, they hoped to find the control systems responsible for the energy-draining properties. But their presence hadn't gone unnoticed. A patrol of Xylan guards rounded a corner, their eyes falling upon the incongruously clean and unblemished figures of Alex, Neo, and Hermes. The holographic disguises, under close scrutiny, began to flicker at the edges. "Hold it right there," boomed one of the guards, his hand reaching for his energy weapon. A desperate fight ensued. Alex, utilizing their mastery of martial arts, disarmed one guard while Neo unleashed a flurry of kicks and punches. Hermes, ever the strategist, used their salvaged technology to create a localized electromagnetic pulse, disabling the remaining guards' weapons. But the alarm had been triggered. Sirens wailed, and reinforcements converged upon their location. With no time to spare, they raced towards the control center, desperately searching for the energy-draining controls. Finally, they found it. A complex node of pulsating energy lines feeding into the holographic projection system. This was the heart of the Xylan's manipulation. "I can overload the system," Neo declared, his eyes gleaming with determination. "But it's a one-shot deal. We need to get out of here before it explodes." With a nod from Alex and Hermes, Neo initiated the overload sequence. The node crackled with a surge of energy, the holographic projection system flickering and sputtering. Soon, the massive panels of the Dyson sphere above began to shimmer and lose their opacity, allowing the faint light of their dying sun to bathe the Xar'Ki world below. A chorus of gasps and cheers erupted from the workers as they realized the shield was failing. The Xylan overseer's voice shrieked over the intercom, a mix of fury and disbelief. But their victory was short-lived. The overloaded node erupted in a blinding flash of energy. Alarms blared, and the control center shuddered violently. The Xylan reinforcements were upon them. "Go!" Hermes barked, shoving Alex and Neo towards an emergency exit. "I'll hold them off for as long as I can." A fierce battle ensued. Hermes, leveraging his knowledge of advanced weaponry from the stolen Xylan ship, fought with the ferocity of a cornered animal. But the Xylan guards were relentless, their numbers overwhelming. Just as it seemed Hermes would be overrun, a loud crashing sound echoed from above. A section of the collapsing Dyson sphere, destabilized by the overload, had ripped through the control center's roof, creating a gaping hole in the ceiling. Through the hole, Alex and Neo watched in horror as Xylan guards and debris were sucked into the vacuum of space. Hermes, momentarily stunned, looked up just in time to see a section of the holographic disguise generator fall towards him. He braced himself for impact. But the impact never came. A strong hand reached down through the hole, its grip firm but gentle. It was Neo, his face etched with concern. With a mighty heave, Neo pulled Hermes through the hole, dragging him into the open void. Alex, using their grapple hook salvaged from the stolen ship, attached it to a nearby support beam and secured the other end around their waist. With a reassuring nod to Neo and Hermes clinging to the edge of the gaping hole, Alex activated the grapple hook, propelling themselves through the debris field towards the Xylan ship they had landed earlier. Back at the control center, the remaining Xylan guards were swept away by debris or sucked into the ever-expanding hole. The Xylan overseer, his face contorted in rage, stumbled towards the hole, reaching out with a desperate claw. But it was too late. The vacuum of space claimed him, his scream echoing through the collapsing control center before being abruptly cut off. In the chaos, amidst the swirling debris and the blinding light of the dying sun, a desperate escape unfolded. Neo, utilizing his enhanced agility and strength, maneuvered himself and Hermes through the wreckage, dodging falling beams and clinging to precarious ledges. Finally, they reached the stolen Xylan ship where Alex was waiting. With a final push, Neo and Hermes scrambled aboard the ship just before a large section of the control center detached and drifted away into the abyss. Alex, wasting no time, activated the engines and piloted the ship away from the collapsing Dyson sphere. Looking back, they watched as the once majestic structure crumbled into a cloud of debris, its failure a testament to their daring intervention. The Xar'Ki world below, bathed in the faint light of its dying sun, seemed to heave a collective sigh of relief. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. The Xylan threat loomed large, a reminder of the dangers that lurked throughout the multiverse. However, as they navigated through the vast cosmic expanse, a newfound sense of camaraderie filled the stolen ship. They had faced impossible odds, relied on their diverse skills, and emerged victorious. Their journey to find the Xylan Collective had taken an unexpected detour, but within this unexpected challenge, they had found a renewed sense of purpose and a powerful bond. They wouldn't just be seeking refuge for themselves, they would be liberators, a beacon of hope fighting against the forces of tyranny across the infinite tapestry of realities. Join the adventure. Dive deep into the heart of the multiverse with our epic sci-fi saga. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future chapters. Support us on Patreon. Help us continue this interstellar journey by becoming a patron on Patreon. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes content, early access to chapters, and more. Your support makes a world of difference.